Today we're going to check our levels of motivation. We're going to use an ambivalence checker. So you've got this sheet here. So ambivalence is when we're in two minds about something. So when we really want to do it, but we're not sure, or we don't, is now the right time? But what if this happens? Or what if I can't do it because of this? So we do want to do it. We do want to do it, and presumably, if you're on this program, you do want to do it because you've committed to doing the program. But maybe you kind of dithered about signing up for the program because you thought, oh, I've got this coming up, or I'm doing. So you may still have some ambivalence there. So we're going to use this as a bit of a tool to see where you're at with it, and to try and kind of get the motivation and the commitment levels up a little bit, and make sure that you're fully on board with it. Because if we're tipping too far the other way, then there's a much greater chance that we're going to fall off the wagon completely and kind of not bother. So on your ambivalence checker, we've got two sections, one here, and then two boxes within each section. So on your top section, it says, if I decide to change. And we've got two boxes there. On the bottom, if I decide not to change. And some pros and cons there. So looking at your top box then, what happens if you decide to change? So you've already had a little look at your whys, so that's going to kind of give you some hints and tips, hopefully. So let's take our imaginary person, Sarah. Sarah wants to get to the gym 3 times a week. She's not quite been on track with it lately, and she wants to get back into that good habit, getting into the gym 3 times a week. So she might have a look at what are the pros and the cons to if she does manage to do that and she does get back in the gym. So she might look at her whys, and that might come down to her goals of being fitter and stronger, or things like that. So pros might be that she feels better in herself. A pro might be that she loses some weight. It might be that she can get back into her favourite dress. It may be that she can go off and do some energetic tasks that she's kind of got her mind set on in the future. So those might all be some pros of what are going to be those good outcomes if she manages to commit and deliver on getting to the gym 3 times a week. What are the cons if she decides to do it? Yeah, so still on that, if she decides to do it. So what would be the cons to her going to the gym 3 times a week? So it might be things like she's going to be late at home in the evenings because she's going to go straight after work, so she's going to be a little bit late at home. That might lead on to then maybe dinner's going to be a little bit more tricky to prepare, so she might have to get something, a workaround onto that. She might have more washing to do because she's got to wash her gym kit, and more prep that comes with that as well. Financially, so obviously it may cost her money. If she hasn't already got a gym membership, she might have to pay for that, and there may be travel costs incurred in that as well. So financially it could be different. So she's going to look at all of those reasons, and that might come into if she kind of joined the gym and didn't go. It might be if she looks at why she didn't go, why that kind of failed, that might lead her into what are the cons. So what were the reasons that she wasn't going? What made that difficult for her? So that's the pros and the cons of if she does. So if she does do what she wants to do, which is to go to the gym 3 times a week, what are the benefits, the pros, what are the good things that are going to happen for her doing that? But also there might be some cons. What are going to be the difficulties? What are going to be the challenges to if she does decide to do it? Then down here, if she doesn't. So if she doesn't decide to do it, and it might be a reflection of this. So if she doesn't decide to go down the gym 3 times a week, she gets home earlier from work and she can veg out on the couch a little bit. You could put a positive spin if she's getting home, and we talked about trying to get around the food and stuff like that. So a positive to if she didn't do it was that she might be able to actually improve her eating habits because she's got more time to dedicate to that. So that could be a positive of her not going to the gym 3 times a week. There could be some relationship issues on the pros or the cons that maybe spending less time with partner, spending less time with the family. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't know, we're all different on that. But so you could put that in your pros and cons. So the idea is to fill up as many things into all of these boxes as we can. Okay, so remember, it's the two separate things. Pros and cons for if you do it. Pros and cons for if you decide not to do it, or if you fall off the wagon or you give up or whatever. So what are the pros and cons of if that happens? And obviously, once we then get this full fill up, we want to have more things in our pros for deciding to change, and we want to have more things in our cons for if we don't decide to change. Yeah, so if it's the other way around, then maybe we've picked the wrong habit. I don't know. You know, if you're thinking actually life's better if I don't do this, maybe we throw that away and we pick a new habit. But so hopefully we're going to get more things that are in the favour of actually this is the right thing to do. This is going to be a good thing if I do it, and this is not going to end quite so well if I don't stay on track with it. So get that filled in. If you don't have a printer and you can't print that off, I mean, it's a simple outlay. So just, you know, grab yourself a notebook, you know, 2 lists. What if you do it? What if you don't do it? You know, it's easy to just scribble out on a bit of paper, isn't it? And get those down.